I went to 4 cities and 12 different thrift stores looking for pre-1950s jewelry. Did I find it? Quick hint, I didn't find it here. So I'm heading to the downtown Idaho Youth Ranch. I think I've explained before that the Youth Ranch is it's like a chain of thrift stores. The money goes into a program for troubled kids or kids that are in difficult life situations. And I have a friend who actually works at the ranch itself, and it's a pretty great program. Sometimes, depending on which location you're in, the prices can be pretty high, and other times they can be surprisingly low. But they always have jewelry, I'll just put it that way. And so I can peek through there. They also have what they call, I think it's like rubies, which is sort of a subset of their store where they price some of the vintage stuff and antique stuff at a significantly higher rate. So I'm trying to look for something that was missed because I really want to find, like I said, a lavalier necklace, or something that is older than the 50s. I want something that's like 30s, 40s is what I'm really hoping for, or even earlier. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting because usually I go into a thrift store and I don't have anything in mind. I might have something like my husband might have said, hey, if you see this, will you grab it? I mean, that's like the closest I get to. I'm going to find something specific. So for me, sitting with this whole, like, I'm going to find something very specific every week to search for is going to be different. At the same time, like I said, if I see something pretty amazing, I'm going to still grab it. So you can expect that. At first glance, it was not promising. It's always a lot of paparazzi and beads. It gets better, though. The first thing I found was this German glass beaded necklace. And it is probably pre-World War II because from that time until the early 90s, it would have been marked West Germany. This one was just marked Germany. And at first I thought maybe it was from the 90s, but no, it's definitely vintage. Here's a little glance at the rubies at Idaho Youth Ranch. They've separated out vintage and antique into this cute little boutique with these really great crocheted throws. And I really love how these look, so I had to look them up. I didn't know what they were. Heading into another youth ranch that's not too far from the downtown one. Loving how this camera focused, haha. Excited to see if there's anything here, because I usually find something good. Yeah, I just see a lot of paparazzi here so far. The next day, I decided to hit Mountain Home, which is the town just outside of Mountain Home Air Force Base in Elmore County. And it was quite the surprise inside. Look at all of this. It was overwhelming. I was in there forever looking through every little thing, hoping for something antique. I did grab a couple of things, but nothing antique. And then I popped over to the Good Samaritan. I had really hoped this piece from the Mountain Home Youth Ranch was going to be Art Nouveau, but I think that it's actually a revival type piece. It's really nice though, and it definitely has the right style. All I picked up from the one little shop was this Monet bracelet. It's very nice, silver tone. This I knew was newer. Sorry for the sad video. I knew it was newer, but I'm just in love with the green right now. This silver piece I couldn't say no to. Or this cloisonne. And this one, I'm still trying to figure out. But this one is Coro circa 45 to 55, so close. And it is selling online anywhere from $80 to $160. So even if that didn't quite fulfill exactly what I was thinking, I'm still pretty happy with it. It'll be up on eBay soon. So I'm hitting 2 more thrift stores tonight. It's 6 o'clock p.m. and it's super dark in Boise because that's what happens to us in the winter. It's midnight at 5, so that's where we're at. I'm going to head into another youth ranch, and then I'm going to go look in Savers, which for some of you might be Value Village. I think they're the same company, or nonprofit, whatever. I have very specific things in mind, as you know, and I was really proud of myself when I went to Mountain Home, which is in Elmore County, because I don't know if I mentioned it, but I have a 3-county goal right now to hit these stores in 3 different counties to find very old vintage or antique. And so far, I'm pretty sure the one thing I thought might be Art Nouveau is not, but I'm hoping. I'll do some more research. And now I'm gonna head in here and then I will let you know what I got. This is another example of Ruby's Closet, or that little boutique that's inside all the youth ranches. I seldom buy anything because they price it at retail. Yeah, this one was pretty much a bust for me that night. So I headed over to Savers. There was nothing on the racks, but I checked the case and there was something intriguing. I still have not found anything like it online. So normally in the Treasure Valley where I live, the Boise metro area, if you will, we hit this kind of traffic stall on I-84 after 3:30 or 4, and generally it's at the median between Boise and Meridian. I am technically on the border of Nampa, and so this is something bad happening. Either there's an accident or they didn't give us a warning about construction, which, you know, whatever. But I don't know which lane I should be in, so I'm just sticking with one of the center lanes and hoping for the best. The only other time I've seen traffic this bad was only in the right-hand lane, and only because of a major concert that was happening, because there's a concert venue that's just right off the freeway here. And yeah, so I know from my dad's text that my mom is getting a little revved up, but hopefully it's not too bad, and hopefully I can help with that and give him a little bit of comfort and still be able to look for old vintage or antique jewelry that's been slipped through the cracks and is just hanging out at a thrift store waiting for me. Okay, you know, otherwise, sorry for the voice thing. Otherwise, it's a beautiful day. We don't have an inversion, which often happens here because we're in a valley that gets poor air quality, and then it gets trapped in here. It's one of those things where you don't think about that. If you think about Idaho, you think about the wild, wild west and low population, which it was when I first moved here in the early 90s. But now not so much, and our air quality can get really terrible, actually. So right now, to see very blue sky is so heartening, and it's 40 degrees in November, or December now, and that's pretty nice for us, so I'm excited. It's a beautiful day. So if I'm gonna be stuck in traffic, at least I have something pretty to look at. Yeah, we're still crawling, and here are these tow trucks with their lights on, and I'm hoping that they'll be part of a fix to this situation. So yeah, I'm on the freeway going 12 miles per hour, 15 miles per hour. This was super depressing. The exact opposite of Mountain Home. So far, this trip into Canyon County has been a little bit of a bust. I haven't found any jewelry, and as you saw from the last little clip, there wasn't a lot at the youth ranch here, which was the complete opposite of what it was like in Mountain Home. So maybe Savers will change my luck. And then there is Deseret here, which sometimes they do a jewelry jar, but as I've explained, they don't sell individual pieces. And then there's one other youth ranch in Nampa that I'll hit, and then I will head home. That might have changed my luck at Savers. Even though this isn't marked, I really believe this is Germany pre-World War II, which would be in our time frame, 40s. It just looks like a piece that I've seen that is. The hook isn't marked, but who knows? I mean, they didn't mark everything, right? And maybe when I get home there will be something. We'll see. I went ahead and got this Chloe necklace because it sells online for $45 and it cost me $6. So I'm gonna do that, even though it's not old. It is discontinued. And then I took a chance on a $30 jewelry jar that I'm gonna do a short on before this video is even out. I'll probably do this. There were some things that were intriguing, some watches that I wanted to check out, and a couple of things that did look more vintage, but probably not pre-1950. We'll see. I did see a Japan clasp and some other intriguing pieces. So we'll see. For $30, I know I can at least make my money back with what I see in here. So that's something. I'm gonna head to Deseret. Actually, I'm gonna skip Deseret. I've decided. I'm gonna go to the other youth ranch that's halfway home, and then I'm gonna head home and start editing this video because I told myself I had until Wednesday to get to as many stories as I could, and it is now Wednesday. So I am totally warm in this turtleneck too. So I'm gonna head to the other youth ranch. I've never been to that location that I can recall anyway, because who knows, I've lived here, 32 years or something. And then, yeah, we'll see if any of this comes to fruition or if I've actually found anything that could be considered older vintage or antique at the end of this video. We'll see. Okay, I know I said I was just going to go to one more, but it turns out I need to do 3 more because I plan on hitting a dozen stores. So we'll see. Yeah, that wasn't anything. So, onward. So I almost forgot there are 2 stores next to each other, Meridian. So I grabbed a few things from St. Vincent's, but I did not record because there were like 4 people talking to me at the counter. It just felt too weird. Onward to another Idaho youth ranch. Do some more research, but I believe I finally got it. It has a little tiny nick in the corner, but I'm all for the well-loved pieces. Got some other stuff from St. Vincent, which I think might be 40s or 50s, but I definitely have to do the research on it. So I will work tonight to get this all edited, and hopefully you'll be able to see it on Friday. What is that? The 6th. So hopefully you're watching this and I got it done on time. Okay, we'll see how it all turns out. So that ring might not be the work of a master craftsman, but Real or Repro's article makes me believe it's from the early 1900s. Quote, many pieces from the 19th and early 20th century made for the tourist trade are very poor quality. Generally, pieces marked China date from circa 1890s to 1930s. So this one, I'm going to count. But if we're looking for a sure thing, that would be for sure this 1923 peace dollar that came from that Savers jewelry jar. I had a great time searching and I found other quality pieces that weren't antiques. And then I went ahead and found other antiques online that I'm going to resell on eBay and Etsy. So make sure you pop over there and take a peek. The next step, I'm going to upcycle some broken jewelry and singleton earrings into something inspired by a piece from one of my many jewelry history books. So stay tuned. Hopefully, I've learned something about editing and it won't take me an extra week. Anyway, thanks for hanging out again.